Bob, we never have really decided how to make Jake a true festive fan.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, how does he become one? What is the ritual?
Oh, I get it. Like we can haze him. He has to drink spoiled eggnog, and we whip his bare butt with thorny mistletoe.
No. Something respectful. A proud ceremony.
Ah. How about a winter graduation where we pelt him with snowballs? Or, tie him to a stone altar and light a Christmas tree on fire underneath it.
No. Like we went through a real challenge, a trial, a way to prove his merit.
Oh, he could name all the Yule lads in proper order. He could run a 5K in a Santa suit. Or, complete the 12 beers of Christmas.
Ooh, yeah!
That's it! Audience, say it with me. Legendary!
The following podcast contains graphic descriptions of international celebrating and global merrymaking. It may not be suitable for angry or unhappy audience members. Listener discretion is advised. You've been warned.
Have you ever seen any of those foreign films? I don't like them.
Some are born great, others achieve greatness, and some watch Christmas movies.
We are the wild and crazy guys.
Well, they're both festive, aren't they?
Joyeux Noel!
And we are the Festive Foreign Film Fans. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh.
Happy birthday to you. Mark, happy belated birthday to you.
Well, thank you, Bob. You were singing. Thank you.
Is that what they call that?
That's what I call that.
Well, Mark, I feel so guilty. It's been a week or so since your big day. But given that you're a Gen Z, we don't have birthdays. We have birthday months.
I am not a Gen Zer, Bob.
You're an adopted Gen Zer.
Yeah. I hang with Gen Zers, but I am not one.
Just like any good adopted Gen Zer, we need to use your birthday for social media content. Even though this is belated, I want to capture every moment of this birthday, every wearing of the birthday hats, every cake slice, every mildly awkward blowing out your candles, playing all over the cake. I want it all captured on film. Me pushing your face in the cake. Because that is the most genuine birthday party in an authentic way, isn't it?
I would have no idea, Bob. I don't even like celebrating birthdays.
We can't not reflect on your birthday because you are an international podcaster. You are a media celebrity. So we have to recognize the fact that your voice carries into 100 different countries. Think about that. Think of all those people in South America, in Africa, in Asia, all celebrating your birthday, all waiting to send you their gifts. The good thing is since we are international and we need this coverage for our social media, we cannot just settle for our usual American birthday tradition. I'm not going to bend over and spank you.
Well, there is a God.
What we want to do here is incorporate all the unique customs from around the world, the birthday customs. Because yes, Mark, that's what we do. We look at countries and find out what kind of interesting things we can borrow from them. Since you have this exciting global personality, I have created a fairly ambitious agenda for your celebration. Okay?
Ready. Let's go.
Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to borrow an Indian birthday ritual. And that is where you touch the feet of your elders, like your parents or teachers. Now, this is a deeply symbolic act because it's packed with layers of meaning. Because when you touch the feet, it shows respect, and the birthday person symbolically receives their greetings. So, for your birthday, you will be touching my feet and maybe Jake's. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Wait, you're not my teacher or my elder.
I can impart wisdom on you as you tickle my feet.
You have imparted things on me, Bob. I couldn't agree more.
So, Mark, just think about that.
All
You're
right.
starting the day and right away you're touching my feet. That's a great thing. Next, we will enjoy this Jamaican birthday tradition where you cover the birthday person with either water or eggs, and then we throw flour all over you. Isn't that fun?
Wait, isn't that what you do with chicken before you fry it? Dip it in egg, then,
I didn't even
then
think
a little
about
flour and Italian seasoning.
Maybe that's the next part of the thing. First we coat you and then we fry you. After you finish touching my feet, we're going to coat you from head to toe in flour. And I know it sounds a bit messy, but I think, Mark, it's going to give us some really excellent video. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, great video.
And then, and I don't know if you're aware of this, and I purposely looked this up because of your Irish heritage. I wanted to find out what they do in Ireland, and they do something called the bumps. This is where you're going to be lifted and lowered to the ground for each year since your birth. So, given your age, I didn't think I could do all the bumps. So I've lined up a few individuals to help. I got the Amazon delivery guy, my Uber driver, my mailman, my neighbors, and maybe I might use a crossing guard at the corner if I get too tired.
That's a lot of bumping.
So you're covered in flour, touching my feet, lifted and dropped several times. Then in the end, we'll serve you up some fairy bread, just like they have in Australia, which is their birthday party staple. I'm going to take a slice of Wonder Bread, put butter on it, and cover it with sprinkles.
And?
Cut it into triangles, and you get your fairy bread.
That's hilarious. I love it. Fairy bread.
Now, I didn't think the fairy bread would be enough, so we're also going to serve you the Korean birthday seaweed soup, known as mayakguk, and it's made with sea mustard. It's traditionally eaten as a birthday dish in honor of your mother for giving birth to you. Mark, think about this day. I'm so excited for it. What do you think? We got bumping, we got egg coating, we got fishy soup.
Wow. Bob, being on this podcast, every once in a while, you trigger something in a good way.
I thought you were going to say trigger some trauma.
But when I was a kid, my grandmother, she used to put a piece of white bread, some butter, and she would sprinkle sugar on it.
Would she do it was it a special birthday, or she'd do it?
No, she'd just do it once in a while. I must have liked it a lot because I was a pretty chubby kid.
So you had more than one slice?
Yeah, maybe a whole loaf.
That sounds like a winged fairy or something.
We probably couldn't afford, they probably didn't even have sprinkles when I was born.
So, Mark, I hope that this has been a meaningful global tribute to you. There you go. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Bob. I can honestly say I've never spent a birthday like this ever in my life.
And before I remove my shoes, we have to return back to our favorite place, the home of the longest Christmas season in the world, our favorite locale, the Philippines. It's a country where the holiday spirit starts in September and runs all the way into early January. I'm thinking of just moving there. Because if you think about it, they celebrate Christmas for a third of the year.
That's amazing.
I like to focus on their holiday traditions, but there was another cultural phenomenon that we talked about last time, and it's one right up your alley, karaoke. We know that karaoke is extremely popular in the Philippines, and it's taken quite seriously. We discovered that a certain song incited violence there and led to numerous murders. This specific tune is so notorious that people now avoid singing it in public, and it's been taken off the playlist of karaoke machines. So what we wanted to know from our listeners, who knew the name of this killer tune?
If you remember, I had guessed it was Sweet Caroline. Sometimes I want to kill people when they sing that song.
There was another one you sang too. She Bang, yeah.
She bangs, she bangs.
Which really would have been appropriate. I think I would have enjoyed that one.
So I guess I'm 0 for 2. I don't know what else could be then.
The song is Frank Sinatra's My Way. They actually refer to these as the My Way killings. I tried to research what was it about this song that motivated this anger and hostility, and what it seems like at the heart of all these various fights was the fact they take this song, My Way, very seriously in terms of how you were presenting it. So if you were doing it off key, or if you were hogging the microphone or showed any kind of disrespect, it led to fights, then guns. It was crazy. As another little birthday gift, you should sing My Way for us.
No, it might start a fight. I don't want to start an international incident.
That is true. We don't want to do that.
Crazy.
If you knew about that song, we have our own reward for you. It's a special profiling tool to reveal everything about you. Yes, it's our own quirky decal that signals your deepest passions, moral compass, and enlightened worldview. Truly, nothing captures the full complexity of a human being quite like our 3-inch 4F adhesive square. So, Mark, where are we off to tonight?
So we are off to one of the very few places in the world where you can watch the sun rise over the Pacific Ocean and set over the Atlantic Ocean. It is a country that has a rainforest within the city limits of its capital, where you can spot monkeys, sloths, toucans, just minutes away from skyscrapers. We are visiting Panama. Famous for its Panama hats, which are actually from Ecuador. Somehow this mix-up is the perfect metaphor for the country in itself. In a way, it reflects Panama's role as a hub where the world intersects. So let's go and discover it now.
Want to watch a Christmas movie?
Christmas movies are our bread and butter.
We eat Chinese food and watch Christmas movies.
I heard it's the best Christmas movie since Home Alone.
Good thing I'm wearing a Panama hat. I didn't even expect this.
Just what a coincidence, right? So tonight's movie was released in 2020. It's called The Family Tree. It's going to be a very interesting conversation tonight, Robert, Festive
Yes.
Bob. There's 3 main actors that we want to talk about. The first one is Michael Joseph Nelson, who plays Roy. Michael Joseph Nelson is an American actor who has won several international Best Actor awards. He went to school for business and has owned and operated a candy store, a flower shop, and a locksmith. What a combo. They fit right in line to each other.
Yeah, like I wonder if they were all together. Take some candy, have some flowers, and here, you're locked.
He's also the co-founder behind the production company Spellbound Productions. In addition to his cinematic pursuits, he is also dedicated to nurturing the talent of aspiring actors through damn good reels. He's also a trained stuntsman. He's jumped out of cars and swung through the air. And most importantly, his production company, Spellbound Productions, recently released Tangled Up in Christmas on Amazon Prime. The second actor is Keith Roenick. He plays Victor. Keith grew up in New Hampshire and studied theater in England and moved to LA for his first band. He was the drummer at first, but later was the lead singer and guitar player. Keith decided to eat candy and pick locks. No. Keith decided to take a break from touring to pursue his other passion, acting. Over the last decade, he's worked on many independent films and national commercials, including a national spot for Miller Lite. In 2020, he won Best Actor awards in Silicon Beach Film Festival for his portrayal of Victor in this film, The Family Tree. He's also a member of Tim Robbins' The Actors Gangs that he co-created. He starred and produced in Surf Guard, a kid show about being righteous to each other.
These are one of the most creative, interesting backgrounds on 2 people I think we've had for a while. I mean, locksmith, candy maker, guy who's on the Surf Guard kids show.
Have you ever heard of Surf Guard?
I have not.
The way you said that, I thought maybe you did.
Did it surprise you that he won some awards for his portrayal of Victor?
Bob?
Yes?
I am so surprised that this film won any awards. I'm sorry. You see, now you are triggering me.
I know.
You did trigger me.
I know.
As the film was coming on, I was like, wow, look at all these awards this film won. Wow, this is going to be good. Well, before we talk about the film, let's talk about the last actor, Anis Lucia. Anis is a multilingual actor, comedian, and podcaster. So she's just like Bob and Mark, other than we barely speak a language. She hosts 3 podcasts, How to Relationship, Musecast, and Quarantined Happy Hour. That must have been during the pandemic. She's also a multilingual editor, filmmaker, and content creator. She won Best Supporting Actress at the 2020 Culver City Film Festival for guess what film? The Family Tree.
I'm looking at some of these film festivals, might be a bit desperate.
I was going to say, someday somebody's going to have in their credits, was recognized for his acting performance by the Festive Foreign Fans. She's also won the Best Editing Award at the SCC Film Festival for the travel vlogs that she does for her girl and her Shiba Dog YouTube channel.
Mark, I was thinking we could ask to be on the How to Relationship podcast if we could be guests, but I'm sure she'll probably put us on the girl and her Shiba Dog.
She'll probably say, I found 2 guys that are actually uglier than my Shiba Dog. So, Bob, let's talk about this movie, okay? I mean, that's all I have to say. So, was it festive? No.
I will say they tried.
They tried. You know, when I watched it, I kept wondering, well, it's got to get better. But I will say this. There is something at the end of the movie that I thought they did very creatively.
Oh.
So we'll get there. But I'll just kind of go quickly through the movie because I literally, 5 minutes in the movie, thought to myself, this won awards.
My first thought was watching the guy bicycling at the beginning, and I was thinking, it looks like they're filming that out of a car with your old VHS camera.
Right. So here's the plot of it. The movie opens talking about how Victor each year celebrates this tradition where you take a Santa Claus and you make it out of firecrackers, and at midnight you blow it up to blow up the bad stuff from the year and welcome the new year. And it talks about how this Christmas season he's going to get someone to his life who's going to teach him all about love. So again, the first 5 minutes I'm like, oh, that's nice. And so I'm going to give you this movie summary. It could be the fastest summary we've ever done.
Because we don't want to dwell on it too much.
And I want to spend more time on how it ended because I thought it was very creative. Here's the thing. When we meet Victor, he's at a Christmas Eve dinner. You meet this young girl. She's in the bathroom. She's crying. And so you quickly assume that Victor and Elena are a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. It's exciting because Christmas Eve happens to be Elena's birthday. And so he has hired a happy birthday gram guy. Roy turns out to be the Santagram who comes in and sings a nice, very poetic poem to her that Victor has written. And then Victor and Elena invite Roy in. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll come in. As soon as they came in together, I'm like, is this going to be a threesome or something?
I know. It seemed kind of weird.
The way they're looking at him, the way they're talking to him, and he's like, oh, he's kind of cute. Yeah. You know, she's saying he's cute. He's saying he's cute. I'm like, what's going on here? But here's what happens really quick. Roy leaves to go wherever he's going to go. Elena says, I should probably go home. Victor says, okay, I'll walk you home. So you're quickly understanding Victor and Elena are not an item. They find Roy, who's been beaten up. So they find him and they help him up. They bring him back to Victor's house. Roy passes out for 2 days. Don't you think after a couple hours you might call 911?
Yeah.
Say, we have an unresponsive person.
He was viciously beaten.
Exactly. You quickly find out that Roy is homeless, doesn't have a place to live. He's in Panama on a work visa that's about to expire. Victor works in an animal shelter, and he's trying to figure out how does he help Roy. He comes up with this great idea. He said, you know, Roy, I have a way to get you to stay with us. If you got married, you could stay here. And I thought, oh, he's going to get Elena and Roy married. No. Victor and Roy are going to get married, which is totally cool. Who cares, right, in this day and age? But it goes through this whole thing where Victor is like, hey, why don't you stay? Roy's like, no, I don't want to stay. I thought, is this going to be like, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry kind of movie?
That's
right?
what I was thinking, yep.
It's going to be funny. That was kind of humorous. Victor and Roy, they get interviewed, they get married, they're kind of celebrating, and you're starting to see Victor and Roy get up every morning and they cook their breakfast together without their shirts on, which I know I do. I didn't realize more people did that.
Exactly. Mark, that's usually you and I in the kitchen.
Yeah, and I would say at least they had the bodies to support that habit.
I can carry a lot of dishes because I can use both my hands and my stomach.
And so they're celebrating their honeymoon. And so up until this point, you just met this guy. You're going to help him. What a good human. And then Victor says, what are we going to do to celebrate? And Roy's like, it's our honeymoon night. And they're both like, I've never done this before. Clearly, they've never had gay sex. And so they're sort of sitting on the end of the bed, trying to figure out what to do. They finally do what you do on your honeymoon. But then the next morning, Roy's like, I just did that because you've done a lot of good things for me. I'm not gay. Just the whole acting of this made it feel strange.
Oh, it was terrible.
It wasn't what happened.
It's really the acting. It's not only the two males. Lisa had the same issues.
So Victor is sort of heartbroken that Roy doesn't love him the way Victor loves Roy. And Roy's kind of like, I think Elaine is kind of hot. So then all of a sudden, they're sitting on couch watching movies. Victor is sitting next to Elena. Then Roy's sitting next to Elena. Then Lena's laying against Victor. Then she's laying against Roy. Guess what happens? Roy and Elena get married. He gets divorced from Victor. And they still all remain friends.
And it's a busy month, isn't it?
It is a busy month. And of course, you have 2 years later, sort of jettison forward. Elena and Roy are now married. It's Christmas Eve. I would say this. There's a lot of Christmas sprinkled around all these different events. Christmas, New Year's. Elena and Roy called Victor over on New Year's Eve about 3 years after they're married and said, hey, we're just wondering, we've been trying to have a baby and there's problems with me, Victor says, low sperm count, no sperm count, whatever's preventing it. And Victor goes, oh, you want me to donate my sperm? No, we want the baby to be conceived naturally. Victor's like, yeah, I could do that. They're like, good, can you do it tonight? And he's like, tonight? This is filmmaking at its best. So all of a sudden, they decide to have a couple drinks and make a baby.
And this is where I'm shaking my head at this point going, what?
I love when Victor's sort of a little apprehensive, which I get. This is a woman who I had relationships with. Then I discovered I was gay. And now here's Roy, who he's had a relationship with, physical and emotional. So he's a little apprehensive, which I would be too. But then Victor looks at Roy. Roy looks at Victor and says, I'm here for you.
And don't you think in the 2 years that have transpired, they've hung out together?
Exactly. Elaine is now pregnant. Poor Victor's sort of out on his own, doesn't have anybody in his life. Roy has gone from being a homeless person. He's working and everything is going well. And this is where I thought the movie got kind of interesting. All of a sudden, Elena is having early contractions. She's starting to bleed. Roy is not home. She tries to call him on the phone, can't get a hold of him. She calls Victor to say, can you go find Roy? I'm going to call the hospital. She gets picked up by the ambulance and she's being driven to the hospital. The ambulance attendants are seeing she's a severe case and they're kind of worried. Victor is driving to try to find Roy so he could take Roy to the hospital. And I start to see a plot thickening here. I'm like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Elena's going to die. And then Victor and Roy are going to raise the baby. It's going to come full circle back to them. But then Roy gets hit by a car.
I know. No, I did not see that coming at all.
And I thought, oh, maybe Elaine is not going to die because she hasn't died. She's just bleeding. They can fix that. I get it now. Victor's going to be with Elena with actually his son, and Roy is gonna die. Yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. But what happens is Roy and Elena die. And now Victor's going to be the daddy to raise the baby. So I'd say right at the end there, you're kind of like, oh, what is going to happen here? Earlier in the movie, Victor and Roy made this love promise that they'd always be there. And Roy said, if I ever die, I'll send a message to you by a light flickering in a room. And Victor picks up the baby and looking at the little baby boy, and it's me and you against the world.
You do that really well.
And then the lights flicker, and there's a nice little Christmas song that plays at the end.
It is welling up all kinds of bad feelings once again in me to hear you describe it. I thought the same that you did. Roy was going to die, and then she was going to end up with Victor. And I thought that was going to be the twist. But no, they surprised me once again.
Sometimes you have good acting with a bad script. In this case, I'd say the movie and the topics in itself were kind of interesting.
I would say this one was bad acting with a mediocre script.
Right.
And the reason why I say mediocre is some of the concepts could have been intriguing, but they were so ham-handed. They beat you over the head with them. It was hard to believe all of it.
It really was. I kind of hinted at before, Bob, would you consider it festive?
When you said that, I was thinking exactly how I was going to respond to that. I think they tried very hard to make it festive. And this is one of those classic examples where you can't just shove a lot of lights, decorations, and think it's going to carry the film. It did not. I didn't feel festive at all. And to your point, there was a lot of color and traditions shown.
Yeah, I agree. How did you feel when you were watching it?
I felt like this is really bad. In fact, Mark, I always want to watch the films at least twice to make sure I've seen and processed all of it. I had to force myself to watch it the second time and to pay attention.
You're a better man than I am, Gunga Din, because I watched about 30 minutes of a second time, and I'm like, I can't do this. I know this, I just can't. It's worse now knowing what's going to happen. I didn't find it festive. Part of me feels like now that we are international podcasters, reviewing all these films, influencing the Academy Awards, making a golfer even better. He's playing at the top of his game now because of us. I want to be careful about how I use the power that has been bestowed upon us.
When we went through their backgrounds, these people are actors.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't take it seriously. They didn't seem to be acting well at all. I didn't think. It seemed like three friends got together and say, I have this crazy idea for a movie. Let's go out and film it today. And that's what they got.
On our VHS or beta tape.
Exactly. Mark, I'm sure you want to watch it again, right?
Never.
I know, never.
Yeah.
And what is sad, and I don't know if I've ever felt this way before, but I actually had a negative impression of Panama. I'm blaming the country for this dumb movie.
I'm not going to hold this against Panama.
It's unfair of me, but that's how upset I was that I'm like, Panama, how could you allow this? The other thing that's odd, wasn't it, that it's in English?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
All in English.
I was waiting for you to go. So would you recommend it to someone? And just wanted to say, no, run. Well, Mark, is there anything to lift my image of Panama at all?
Oh, yeah. There's some great customs, but let's talk about how to say, well, Merry Christmas. We all know, right? The Panamanians say Feliz Navidad for Merry Christmas, but there are other phrases. Panama is located just north of the equator, so it has warm weather year-round. December temperatures average between 75 and 85. One common phrase that you might hear, meaning Christmas is on the beach, is Navidad en la playa.
Oh, I like that.
It's a common phrase and custom, especially since December marks the beginning of the summer in Panama, where many locals celebrate with family beach outings, barbecued, and beachside parties. I like it. Navidad en la playa. This phrase highlights their tropical summer-style Christmas, merging traditional festive spirit with the verano, or summer clothes, and beachfront activities. The other phrase is fiestas en el sol, or parties in the sun, which again is used to describe Panama's unique blend of outdoor Christmas traditions with the country's warm and the tropical climate and the sea and the beaches. This I kind of like. Palm trees are often decorated with lights, and the scent of fresh seafood and grilled dishes will fill the air during family gatherings, followed by fireworks as the sun sets over the ocean, and lively street party known as carnavales.
It is so funny when we hear in these summer type Christmases sounds so great, especially when they talk about street parties. It's so the opposite. You often don't see people because everybody's indoors.
Right. I wonder who made the decision along the way not to have fireworks in America Christmas. Because so many of the countries we cover have those fireworks. And I think it'd be kind of cool on Christmas night to go someplace as a community.
Yes.
And watch fireworks.
That would be awesome. But Mark, I want to impress you though. When you said Fiestas en el Sol, I knew what that was.
Did you really?
I knew. Or El Sol is the sun. Figure Fiesta's a party in the sun.
Nothing gets by you, Bob. Let's talk about other traditions in Panama. Panamanians embrace their love for music and dance during the Christmas season. Gaitas are a popular festive genre of folk music that is played during the holiday festivals. Gaitas are upbeat Colombian African influenced rhythm. Because I think a gaita is actually a drum. Panama's music is a representation of several musical styles. The genres that are popular in South America, especially Colombia, Central America, and the Caribbean, are popular and merge with African American and some European influences. So it's really a melting pot of great music, which I think is kind of cool.
I'd love to hear like the gaitas now.
Many of these styles have corresponding dances that accompany them. The music is characterized by the use of a gaita flute, a haunting pipe-like instrument, often accompanied by an accordion, a mejornera, a 5-string guitar, a bocana, a 4-string guitar, and a variety of different kinds of percussive instruments like xylophones, marambas, castanets, clappers, and drums. The influence of these traditional sounds is sometimes combined with the vocal style known as soloma, which is actually a type of yodeling. So the gaita's specific breathy sound is distinct.
And this was true in a lot of the South American countries too. How much they dance on Christmas. And doesn't that sound great? When you see those dance parties at the houses.
Being outside too. Who's going to be dancing outside when it's cold?
Other than when it's like below zero and you're trying to stay warm.
That's a whole nother dance. Panama City has a grand Christmas parade known as Desfile de Navidad, the Christmas parade. This is a major festive event and a major highlight of the season. It draws large crowds and creates a sense of community-wide celebration. Neighborhoods on the parade route will often compete to have the most elaborate decorations and colorful lights, adding to the festive atmosphere. The parade features floats, marching bands, singers, and dancers. In 2025, the parade lasted more than 5 hours.
Clearly, you can tell the weather is nicer there because there's no way we could tolerate 5 hours here.
Although, have you ever heard of the Mummers Day Parade in Philadelphia?
No.
So the Mummers Day Parade is always held on January 1st, and that parade is about at least 6 hours long. The first part of the parade is the people who are still coming home from the bars from the night before. And
is the temperature in Philadelphia similar to Illinois?
Yeah, it's cold.
Oh,
it's very cold.
They're out for 6 hours?
People who are watching it are. So the Mummers march up Broad Street. It starts with a lot of amateur hour things and some groups, high schools come along. But at the end are all the really fancy bands with the feathers and doing the Mummer strut. They have banjos, guitars, drums. And so I never went for 6 hours, but I did go to a few Mummers Days parades.
Mark, you were at the front just coming home from the bar.
It's hard to describe the dance they do, but for anybody listening, I'd encourage you to just on YouTube, Mummers Day Parade, Philadelphia. And there's dancers who dance a special dance. They have all these feathers coming out, which my younger days I could actually do. I might hurt something now. It's silly as hell, especially in the very beginning. Like from 8 to about 10, you're going to see things you probably don't want to see your children to see. Let's go back to Panama. In Panama, it is a widespread tradition to paint your house in anticipation for Christmas. This is called remodelación. It's usually completed before December 8th, which is actually Mother's Day in Panama, which also corresponds with the date of the Feast of the Immaculate Conception.
Like Mary's Day, right?
Yep. The tradition involves cleaning and freshly painting homes to welcome the season, symbolizing a fresh start. Families will gather in the days leading up to Christmas to paint, ensuring the house is bright and rejuvenated.
So, Mark, all I can think of is how busy we are in December. All the stuff going on. Can you imagine? And you got to paint the house.
You know what, though? I think the commercialization that we get sucked into, Bob, is probably not present. So they're preparing for the birth of Jesus. They're celebrating Mother's Day because of Mary. And so, not that I'm putting us down a little bit, but maybe they have their right focus. I don't know. Yeah. A New Year's tradition that we saw in tonight's film is the creation and subsequent destruction of the Monaco, a doll or effigy that is supposed to represent bad memories from the past, or an unpopular politician.
Who could that be?
These Monocos are made with old clothes and stuffed with straw, leaves, or paper, making them look somewhat similar to a scarecrow. At midnight, the Monoco is burned, and for those looking for a little extra pyrotechnic display, they stuff them with firecrackers. As the Monoco burns, it takes with it the misfortune and hardship of the past year and allows its makers to start the new year with a clean slate.
It's funny because in the film, he dressed his Monoco up like Santa.
I know. Once I heard the tradition, I was like, you know what, Victor? That's why nobody loves you.
Even Roy.
Even Roy. Let's talk about some food.
Yes, there we go.
It's Christmas dinner.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Food they put out for Christmas Eve.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Most of your major food preparation holidays, Christmas.
Eat it.
Puts out food for Santa.
Eat it. If it's getting cold, reheat it.
There's no chili. No, chili's not a festive food.
The main dishes for Christmas dinner tend to be traditional, so they're really the side dishes that add the local flavor. So they do turkey, they do ham, but the star is the arroz con guandu, usually served with pork or chicken. Arroz con guandu is a traditional dish made with guandu or pigeon peas.
I couldn't think of something that sounds least appetizing. Pigeon peas.
Guandu are a legume found in the highlands of Panama. They are small, round, green, black, or speckled seeds that grow on bushes. The fresh pigeon peas you can get in Panama are green or black. The peas are sautéed with garlic, onion, sweet pepper, and cilantro. Well, that sounds good.
See, that makes it better, yeah.
They are then cooked with rice and coconut milk for creaminess. Ooh. Plus, annatto oil is added for color and flavor. Annatto oil is a vibrant reddish-orange oil made by infusing oil with annatto seeds used for a mild, earthly flavor.
What a weird combination if you think about it.
Yeah.
Coconut milk, garlic and onion. And
yeah, it seems like there's a lot of conflicting things in there. Sort of like my feelings for this film.
I'd rate it one pigeon pea.
One pigeon pea. Plantonos en Tentacion, bananas in temptation, are a sweet side dish, are made with plantains, sugar, rum, cinnamon, vanilla extract, salt, and butter. Now we're talking. This is one of the most popular side dishes in Panamanian cuisine, and sometimes red soda or Coca-Cola are used to caramelize the plantains.
So you already have sugar, rum, vanilla extract, butter, and you're adding Coca-Cola.
Let's get our heart racing. The dish is baked until dark golden in color. Before serving, the plantains are sprinkled with powdered sugar and cinnamon, but this is not a dessert. It's served as a side dish like you would sweet potatoes. Other traditional Panamanian dishes include corn-based tamales filled with meat and wrapped in banana leaves, bacalao, which is like a cod, and ensalada de papas, which is beet potato salad. One tradition that spans across cultures for unknown reason is fruit cake. Panamanians love fruit cake, and they wash it down with ron poncho, which is a rum-based eggnog-like drink. That actually sounds pretty good.
I would say one of the most common things we've really seen in a number of countries is a version of eggnog. They don't call it eggnog, but they have something comparable to eggnog. At least in these South American and Central American countries, they all seem to have tamales as well for Christmas.
So those are some of the traditions. I'd say let's listen to some music, Bob.
This calls for some Christmas music.
Yes, this Christmas music.
What kind of Christmas music is that?
The least you could do is play some Christmas music.
And now back to Christmas music.
Mira que llegó la Navidad. Vamos todos juntos a adorar. Todos en familia y hermandad. Jesucristo el Mesías, el mundo vino a salvar. Ven y llénate de gozo. Baila este ritmo bien sabroso. Siente el amor del poderoso. Ha nacido el vencedor, ha nacido el más glorioso. De aquí hasta la fiesta de Reyes.
Well, that song is called Merry Christmas Panama, and it is by Os Almorantas. Os Almorantas released the popular Christmas song Merry Christmas Panama in 2020. Os Almorantas, or the Admirals, is a band formed in the mid-1990s in the city of Cilantro in Panama. Then this song has broken album sales and records throughout the nearly 30-year career. Their musical style is a blend of rhythms such as ska, punk, reggaeton.
You know, I always see this reference to reggaeton, and I don't know what makes it different than reggae.
I don't either. With a fun, intense, highly infectious energy. The upbeat music, lyrics of Merry Christmas Panama celebrate the holiday and the parranda, or party atmosphere found in Panama. The band was formed by brothers Victor and Ramon Reguera, and their popularity has allowed them to share the stage with international acts like Shakira, whose hips don't lie, Journey, and one of our local favorites in the Chicagoland, Cheap Trick.
And isn't that a weird combination?
Totally.
Shakira, Journey, and Cheap Trick.
The band continues to record and tour the United States.
Mark, I have to say, so this is the last song of our season 3.
Oh.
And this one, I will just say it's in the running. I really like this.
It is so fun. Quite honestly, I watched the movie the second time. I actually just watched it with this music playing.
That's what I should have done.
That's why I'm a professional. You know, Bob, it's getting time. It's getting closer to when we are going to have to actually make our P-Dogs.
I know. The day of reckoning is upon us.
As you heard in the last episode, we know that the first step is to find a recipe. Now, with the recipe as our foundation, we recognize that the kitchen also plays a crucial supporting role. Even the most precise instructions will fall short if the baking environment isn't conducive to careful execution. But for us, we need all the help we can get. So a clean, organized workplace might allow us to focus on drinking beer.
Ah, you got the priorities in order.
We need everything within reach lined up and properly arranged so the recording of our baking session will sound smooth even when we forget steps or make incorrect measurements. We need to pick the kitchen with sufficient counter space, reliable appliances, and other accessories like spoons, cups, and bowls, and all that other stuff. And most importantly, a good, strong, firm bottle opener. But this is where our good planning meets practical reality. Instead of counter space, Bob has a knick-knack holding pen, and we own the world's collection of out-of-print themed cookbooks. For reliable appliances, in my manual mixer, manual can opener, and manual stove over an open fire may not be efficient. The accessories consist mainly of mason jars and jelly jars, and mine are all paper. Given that we may need to measure accurately or preheat something, our aim must be to minimize our mistakes and deliver results. Oh no, what will we do? What will we do?
I have an easy bake oven, and it has a light bulb.
Our current home environment may not be the best for an efficient kitchen. However, there is a place we can go, and we've been asked to go. We've been asked. In the 1920s, John D. Hertz of Hertz Rental Car Company assembled nearly 900 acres of farmland in our hometown of Cary, Illinois. He created an estate named Leona Farms in honor of his eldest daughter, Leona. The estate in rural Illinois, has 2 polo fields, trout ponds, extensive gardens, an Art Deco pool, horse stables, and barns. And as a gift for his daughter, Hertz built her home there in 1929. The estate was eventually sold to Otto Schnurring, founder of the Curtis Candy Company. In the decades that followed, much of the original Hertz estate transformed into the community of Trout Valley. Hertz's own home was lost to fire in the 1970s, but Leona's house endured. In 2023, Trout Valley resident Sue McGinnis purchased Leona's home and began extensive renovations and improvements, including a commercial kitchen. The private residence, now is called La Belle Vie Mansion, has been thoroughly reimagined as a gathering place for culture, artistic, and most importantly, culinary experiences, including international ones.
Hey, they're speaking our language there, Mark.
So, God bless her, Sue has invited us to end our year-long pierogi journey in a new, beautifully renovated commercial kitchen. Wow. She's offering us the perfect space to bring Latvian tradition and cultural craftsmanship together in our nimble hands.
Did you say nimble?
Maybe.
I'm looking at my hands. I don't know how nimble they look.
Work with me, Bob. I'm trying to make Sue confident that we can do this.
Okay, good. Nimble.
Surrounded by high-quality equipment, organized workstation, and Sue's culinary talents, we will actually be able to carefully shape, fill, and bake pierogs with 4F pride. We promise for our anniversary to produce the very best pierogs, golden, bacony, and made with the dedication that every great podcast baking experience deserves.
You have inspired me. I'm ready to march off and bake.
So, Sue, thank you so much. Trout Valley is a great little town. Sue's very nice. Bob, we have to go shopping soon.
I know. She's going to help us. She's going to be like our overseer. She will help us.
Even buy the bacon?
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm excited. It's getting close, and we're going to do this.
It's getting close, and we're getting hungry.
Who are we going to invite to taste it, though, right? Because no matter what we do, you and I are going to say it's great.
Don't you wish Inga was close by? We could have her just come and...
That would be great. What do you think about Jake? Do you think he'd be unbiased?
Yes, Jake would be good. Jake and Tori.
I can only speak for myself, but I know my wife gives me really good feedback on things.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. In fact, I think she looks forward to opportunities to give me feedback.
And maybe if we time this right, if some of our kids are around, they also are more than willing to give me feedback.
Usually very colorful feedback as well.
Yeah, a lot of head shaking.
I don't know, though. I don't want to put the whole family in the hospital at the same time, though.
You got to have one lone survivor. I'm getting excited, so let's talk about some trivia.
It's trivia. Trivia.
There's nothing in Panama at all.
Bad movies and engineering marvels.
If you think about Panama as home to one of the greatest engineering achievements in history, the idea of creating a passageway across Panama to link the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans dates all the way back to the 1500s when explorer Vasco Nuez de Balboa realized that only a narrow strip of land separated the two oceans. This potential shortcut from Europe to Asia was important as the only other route was to sail around South America through the stormy Strait of Magellan.
So was Vasco Nunez de Balboa, was that like Rocky's great-great-grandfather?
Did we talk about our ADD earlier?
Yes.
When the Panama Canal
I don't know what
built,
we're talking about when we say that.
When the Panama Canal was built, it saved ships thousands of miles of travel. It is amazing how, despite its relatively small size, this country has played such an outsized role in the events with its location, history, and engineering feat. Of course, that just means lots of cool, festive foreign film facts for us to digest and pursue. For example, we thought about quizzing you if you knew there was a failed Scottish effort to colonize Panama called Darren. The settlement attempted failed and forced Scotland to ultimately become part of the UK when more than 80% of the participants died within a year, and the settlement consumed 20% of all Scottish money.
Talk about synchronicity. All the people die in Panama, and it causes Scotland to have to become part of the UK.
That's a bad plan. Or could you believe that Teddy Roosevelt was the first sitting president to take an international trip, and that first visit was to Panama? Prior to that, it was seen as taboo for the president to travel globally because American citizens did not want the president mingling with royalty.
Isn't that crazy to think of all the presidents we have before Teddy, and none of them traveled internationally?
Yeah, and you think about, too, though, the ability to travel also had to play in. They'd be gone for a long time.
That's true.
So, but I think the mingling with royalty is a very interesting fact. Yeah. We also wondered if you knew that the city of Volcan, Panama, has been named the healthiest place to live in the world with its low cost of living, abundant natural produce, and fish, amazing scenery, and constant spring-like cool temperatures. Or how about the fact that Panama was the location of the Great American Interchange that happened 2.7 million years ago? That's when the volcanic isthmus of Panama rose up from the seafloor, and it formed a land bridge between the previously separated continents that connected North and South America. This allowed reptiles, amphibians, arthropods, weak flying or flightless birds, and even freshwater fish to migrate. So horses, cougars, and bears were able to go south, and armadillos, possums, and porcupines moved up north.
Lucky us, huh?
Lucky us. I think we got the bad end of that deal.
I know.
Panama is one of the few places where you could still find both North and South American wildlife species living together because it serves as a land bridge between the two continents.
Can I tell you something, and this is embarrassing? I did not know that Panama bridged the Atlantic and Pacific. I didn't know that. So when you described, you could see the sun rise and set. I mean, I knew about the Panama Canal. I just didn't think that it was bringing the two oceans together.
So the whole sunrise, sunset thing, that I never really put that together. I think it'd be kind of cool to go down and see it someday because you don't really appreciate something sometimes until you see it. So all those are interesting facts, Bob. I get it, right? They're all interesting, but we are more like true crime podcasters. We want to get into the bloody details. Got it? 1856, when Americans stole something in Panama City that caused a 24-hour riot that killed 17 people and left at least another 63 wounded. What was this most coveted and desirable object? So, 24-hour riot, 17 dead, 63 wounded because an American took something. If you know, we have another engineering marvel for you. Our prize also serves as a connection between two different surfaces. It's a small but mighty bridge that closes gaps by using balance, flexibility, and adhesive. Yes, we are talking about the flawlessly designed and very precise instrument known as the 4F sticker, known for its polymer chemistry, viscosity, and surface energy engineering.
I want one.
We are also offering it to the world as a passage to entertainment for the cost of a correct answer. So send your answers to festivefans@gmail.com.
Hey, Mark, do you think there's any chance that what that American stole was a copy of My Way by Frank Sinatra?
Well, I know it sure the hell isn't The Family Tree. I know it wasn't a copy of that movie.
Nobody would steal that.
You know what, though, Bob? It's getting kind of near the end of this episode, and I just thought, well, maybe we could find a nice little quote to end the day and feel good about everything, about, where we are in life.
I'd love that.
Here's a little quote for you to think about tonight, Bob, as we kind of wind down from this stressful session that we just had today. We don't know who said this, but I tried to find out, but it's very sweet. It says, if you want to give something for Christmas, give peace and good wishes to everyone around you.
Now, see, that just makes me feel a lot better from the start of the show.
Yeah, I agree. What are we going to do next, Bob?
Mark, I'm going to tell you. Get ready to celebrate 3 incredible years of the Festive Foreign Film Fans with our special 2-part anniversary event. The Festive Fans will use the next 2 unforgettable episodes to understand how to present our 3rd anniversary gifts of traditional leather, while the modern gift is either crystal or glass. So, should we surprise each other with wildly inappropriate leather chaps and crystal shot glasses for some cowboy energy? Maybe we can celebrate at a Texas Roadhouse. Or should we use one of our episodes to wear leather football helmets and compete for a crystal trophy? Well, this anniversary celebration is going to be our way of saying thank you for 3 amazing years of support, laughter, and Christmas. We can't wait to celebrate with you.
Wow, 3 years? So 3 years of Christmas, 3 years of cheer, 3 years of our voices louder each year, 3 years of Coco and Jake sound effects, our half-serious debates about countries no one expects. So here's to 3 seasons of festive delight, food, customs, and music, and recording late in the night.
Mark, you're channeling your cousin and your mother.
My cousin, my mom, right, yep. She actually listened to the episode, and she called me up and said, my husband's not from Colombia, he's from Ecuador. Oops.
Oops.
All right, Bob, well, I'm excited for the future. We're winding up our 3rd season. After watching this latest movie, I'm really questioning why I said yes.
Mark, when you wash off all that flour tonight, can you save some of it for the P-Dogs?
So is that how you get the saying egg on your face?
It may be.
Once again, we've done the world a good service. If they've learned about Panama, which sounds like a lovely country, and we probably have prevented people from watching a film that no one should ever watch again.
All I can say, public service announcement, please don't hold the family tree against Panama.
Good night, Bob.
Good night, Mark.
Actually, we're done.
Done.
It's over. It's over.
It's over. Kaput. Finito.
It's over.
And sound engineering on our show is by Jake Fontana.